Look at that.
And we're preparing to go live. Is it bring us up yet?
We are there.
Awesome. Well, before anybody shows up, I'll just go and share this real quick so it doesn't look like I'm like trying to do something else during the whatever. Man, it's always asking me to say something. I don't know what to say. It's like, join us live. We're live now.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and we got our first viewer. What's up, Dave? How you doing, my man?
Dave?
Dave?
Yeah. Our Dave?
Our Dave.
Dave
has graced us with his creative genius. What's happening, my man? How you doing? Thank you for joining us today. And today on Grit and Grace, we actually got a pretty cool show planned for y'all.
Well, of course we do. All our shows are fucking awesome. Come on.
I know I say that every single time. It's like, hey, we got a great show for you today. But today we really do. I think what we're going to be talking about today is something that a lot of people struggle with, and they don't even know it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they struggle because they don't know it. They don't know that that's why they're struggling.
That's what
they struggle. Yeah. Yeah. Because people have such a hard time with stuff, and I'm trying to get the freaking video so I can see what's happening as people comment, because we don't want to get in shit again from a viewer saying,
no,
engage with your audience. Like, come on, we are a pro at that. Okay.
What's funny is he said it again on another episode on a show that I did on Raw and Real on Tuesday night. He said basically the exact same thing. So finally, I just had to explain to him, look, I engage at specific points during the show because I'm also doing the recording for the radio. So for online radio.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, I didn't realize that this was also a radio show. I said, yeah, go on over and check it out. It's on milehighradio.com. And
yeah, we only talk about it all the time. Pay attention.
Yeah.
Catch up.
One of those things. I mean, and we love Mile High, not just because, well, you're the business manager for it, but really they have done a lot. I mean, you look at what Bobby has created and what he's allowed you to kind of do with it. Boy, he more or less just kind of handed you the reins and said, take off, girl.
Totally. Yeah. So I love that. So yeah, he just totally entrusted me with that and sort of, you do your thing. And I just say, I need this. And can you do that? And can I have that? And yep. Love it.
So if you're actually listening to this on Mile High, I want to say hello and thank you to you specifically tonight, because it's because of you that we have so much free reign and creativity on this network. And it's because of your loyal listenership that we are able to do so much for you. So thank you very much for being there for us.
And just want to say really quick, and we've been talking about Tangent City, this awesome audio drama that premiered last Sunday night. We had a listening party online. It was fabulous. We were all together like here, but there was a whole bunch of us. And you have a chance tonight in about 45 minutes to catch episode 1. If you haven't seen it yet, you'll want to go to milehighradio.com and listen to it. It's fabulous because episode 2 is coming out Sunday. So get with it. And
I'll be listening to it tonight just because I want to catch the end, since I goobered up the end somehow. I have no idea how that happened.
I don't know how that happened. That was bizarre, but go listen to it because I can't wait to listen to episode 2. So, absolutely. And we might, all listen together again, maybe.
Yeah. That's funny that you should mention that. Wow. We just had this conversation, huh? So yeah, folks, I think that's what I'll do. I'm gonna put a poll up, and I want to know of all the people who
you and your polls.
I know I got to do a poll. I'm gonna dance on this poll though. For all the people who watched that episode. Now I don't think I'm going to do the whole pre-show thing, because I think we're past that. We don't necessarily need to do the whole pre-show thing again. So we'll probably get some folks into a seat and just listen to the show and have like a director's commentary type thing, kind of like a Mystery Theater 3000 type of thing, maybe Mystery Science 3000, whatever they call it. I think that would be a lot of fun. But at the same time, we are going to be doing an after show with a couple of the actors involved in the part 2, because it's really interesting to find out what they thought once they heard the final product, because we don't necessarily hear the final product until it actually plays, just like you don't know what it's going to be doing. We don't either. So
until Dave waves his magic wand over it and
bing, it's done. I don't think he even does anything. I think he just looks at it and says, it's there. I think he's that talented where he can just snap his fingers, it just clicks into place, and it's done. It was amazing. I mean, everything was tight, everything just flowed so nicely, and it was so entertaining to be able to watch or to listen to it and to watch the faces of the people.
It was so cool. I loved it. Everybody loved it.
So I think I'm going to put a poll up in the group or on my page, and it's just going to basically say, would you rather see the show in this style where you can see the interaction and hear some commentary, or would you just rather me not do anything at all and just listen to it on your own and then maybe come? Because if you listen to it on your own, I guess, that's cool too. I mean, I'm going to do that tonight, but
I think it's neat because there's so many parts. There's so many parts in it. And so many people that we know. So it's kind of neat to have everybody there so people can react to when they hear themselves and, anyway. So listen to it tonight. Go to milehighradio.com, catch episode 1 again. And Sunday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern is episode 2. So
I can't wait. God, I can't wait.
I know,
this is
right?
like waiting for the Throne games. I mean, not the Throne games. I mean, that is epic also. But watching Game of Thrones, I love Game of Thrones. So I would, by the time the show actually came up and I was ready to watch the next episode, I was like already chomping at the bit. It's like, God dang it, I got to go back on HBO now and watch last week's episode just so I don't get that.
Yeah.
It's almost like a hangry feeling. You know what I mean? When you haven't had enough for a while. And I'm getting that now with Tangent City. It's almost like a hangry feeling. I need more Tangent City.
I know, right?
I'm going to have to, that's why I got to listen to it tonight and make sure that I am ready for Sunday, because Sunday, well, there's a couple of pretty cool characters that are going to emerge on Sunday's episode that you haven't heard yet. So
that's right.
I gotta admit, they're probably my favorite characters.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so let's get into the content that we actually have people sitting in their seats for, not talking about everything else under the sun other than our show.
Yeah.
So tonight we are discussing 15 styles of distorted thinking. Maybe not all 15, but styles of distorted thinking.
Yeah.
And
this is related to cognitive therapy. So if you've read anything on that or done any, there's a lot of people I know that have done some education, have done some training in the whole cognitive behavioral thing, then this will be familiar to you. But for a lot of people, it isn't. And I think there'll be some aha things in here that we can point out, that your mind can screw with you. Your mind can be an asshole and cause you a lot of problems that you don't realize. And so your mind can run away with you. I mean, it could just lead you to places that you don't want to go. So we're going to try and run through these. Hopefully we can make it through them.
What if the driver of the mind is the asshole, though?
Well,
I'm just saying, maybe that might be part of the distorted thinking thing too.
Well, it can be, but then that's a whole other freaking.
I caught you way off guard with that one. I'm sorry.
That's a whole other. No, that's some good. I like that. That stuff that gets you thinking. I think that you're the spark I think you're the spark, and then the mind just runs with it, like, somebody on acid just running down the street. Let's do this, let's do that. So,
All right. Well, I'm just going to start off with number one, because that one actually is something that's pretty common. I think a lot of us see this
oh
all
yeah,
all over Facebook. We see this in our regular everyday lives, dealing with people at work, on the street, wherever. Even with our own family members, we see
I
a lot.
think more with the people closest to you.
I agree. I agree with you. I think family really does a lot more of this when you're talking to maybe your mom, your dad, your sisters, your brothers, whatever. I think you see a lot more of this.
Yeah.
And that's filtering. You take the negative details and magnify them while filtering out all the positive aspects of a situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, wow.
It's like GPS on the negative shit.
Yes.
You could say you are like the hottest thing ever. You are so amazing. I can't believe how smart you are. And why are your pants so short? And they'll lose their mind because you said their pants were too short. They'll forget everything else.
Yeah, they'll forget the whole fact that you said that they're amazing and all that other great stuff.
Yeah.
But we saw a lot of this. A really good example of this is the elections. We saw this. It was, I mean, not from just the Trump side or and the Hillary side, but all sides, all of the candidates. They use this.
God, yeah.
Tool.
Yeah.
And I think during election years, it's almost like there's a residual effect. This filtering is like heightened for the next year and a half, as we kind of calm back down into a normal structure again. But we always seem to see this in.
Well, it's sort of that you see what you want to see, hear what you want to hear,
yeah.
Whatever fits your story. You're going to filter out what you want to take. So,
yeah, I mean, you can look at, let's use the politics again, for example. And I'm not saying that we support one political way or another, because, well, you're from Canada, I'm from the United States. So
yeah,
it would be absurd for us to pick one side. But using Trump, for example, there was so much negativity around his campaign. Everybody remembers the pussy grabbing comments and this, that, and the other. And that was blown way up to almost be turned. That was like his character. It's like all of a sudden he was a womanizing piece of shit.
Yeah.
But yet all the positive things that he had done through the years, creating Trump Tower and the jobs that he's provided and all these amazing things that he has done as one of the richest people in America, just suddenly stopped.
Mm-hmm.
They forget that he is one of the most popular reality TV people.
Well, not anymore.
Well, not anymore, but I mean, at the time.
Yeah.
Everything, it went from, everybody loved Trump and The Apprentice. Now everybody hates Trump as the president, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Hillary, it was the same thing on Hillary's side. People jumped onto the Hillary bandwagon and all the negative stuff about her, the Benghazi thing and this, that, and the other. It became all about the negative aspects. But then they forget about all the amazing programs that she spearheaded and that she started while she was the wife of the president when Bill Clinton was president.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing about filtering out. Absolutely. To fit whatever belief you have. Right.
Right. Exactly.
And we're seeing that now with our prime minister. There are some people who absolutely love Justin Trudeau and think he's doing amazing things. And finally, we have a progressive prime minister that's following in his father's footsteps, because his father was prime minister for a long time back in late 60s and the 70s. Amazing man who's passed away. But there's a lot of people who people loved him or hated him, and now his son. And you see the same thing, right? Politics is like a prime example of the filtering thing.
Definitely.
Sure. But you definitely see people do that in their lives. And I think
like I said,
closest to them.
And like I said, folks, we are in no way supporting any political agenda or political view here. We're just using this as an example.
Yeah.
An example only. So
yeah.
Don't Salem witch trial us. Anyhow, so moving on.
I didn't say anything. It was all CJ. He was the one that brought it up.
Burn the witch, whatever. So Halloween's over, folks. Gonna have to wait until next October. Anyhow, so number 2 is polarized thinking.
This is big too.
It is huge.
This drives me crazy. This one drives me crazy.
Why is that?
Because when I witness this kind of thinking, I just think, how close-minded can you be? Like, how close-minded can you be? You're missing a whole range of things in between that could benefit you, that you could learn from.
Yeah. And so folks, so you understand the whole concept of polarized thinking. It's things are black and white, good or bad. You have to be the perfect, or you have to be perfect or you're a failure. There's no middle ground. Usually controversial topics or personal experience. Here's the thing. A lot of times we look at things and we want to believe that things are black and white. But we all know we don't play in black and white. We always play in the shades of gray. There's absolutely nothing on earth it's black and white. There's always something that changes. If you add a little piece of new information, it changes in an instant.
And the thing is that people talk black and white, but they behave in shades of gray.
Yeah.
However it pertains to them.
Yeah. And that's exactly it. I don't know how many times I've had a conversation with somebody and it's like they're pressing their point home on me. They're just, it's gotta be this way. It's only this way, because if it's not this way, then everything else falls apart. I'm like, okay. So what if we added this to the equation? Does that change things up any at all? Well, no, that's just wrong then.
Yeah. Well, and it drives people, doesn't it? Like, that's the thing. Does it piss people off? Like, you can see both sides of things.
I think sometimes it does.
Oh yeah. I piss people off like that because people are just so, and I'm like, yeah, but, and they're like you can see both sides of things. I could totally argue both sides. I could totally debate two sides of something.
What really pisses them off is when you disarm them. When you say something that is absolutely just completely out of right field, and it disarms them, and then they have nowhere to go with it. That even
challenges them. Yeah. This screws people up. You're thinking black and white, but you behave in shades of gray. Like this, like if you are struggling and you're always like having problems and issues and tensions and all of that, take a moment and think, is this you? Because this is one I think that really screws people up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Tuesday I did a show on Ron Reel, and I talked about the posts that I put up there about lending someone change.
Yeah.
And there was one post that stands out to me. Hey, Jim, nice to see you, buddy. One post that really sticks out to me, and that was the woman who said that she had worked in the medical field for so many years and that she is absolutely disgusted by addiction, and she would never give them her loose change because they would just go out and buy booze and alcohol with them. So I posted underneath that, assuming that they're asking for change to buy booze and alcohol.
Yeah.
And then she come back and she went through another long thing. And I said, and basically all I said to her is like, it shows strong character when a person stands up for their beliefs, but it shows humility when people can change their beliefs based on new information being added to the conversation. And I think you have both. And she commented back, she goes, where are you going with this? She's just completely confused by the whole concept that completely disarmed her from what the line she was going on. I mean, she was dead set that the only reason why people ask for money is for alcohol or drugs.
Yeah.
And by disarming her, it totally just frazzled her to the point where she unfriended me. So
Really?
yes.
Are you serious?
So there's the ultimate description of
Wow.
otherwise thinking.
Yeah, that's a good example. When you do that and they get pissed off because you are not supporting their version.
Right.
Yeah. Well, adios.
Mm,
Bye, Felicia.
exactly. It is what it is. So uh,
Okay.
I'm not hurt. I'm not hurt over it. But you know what? The best part about it is this is someone I actually went to high school with.
Oh, she's missing out.
Right. So she had 18 or what's that? 12 years with me anyways in school. So he's probably sick of me before she even commented on that post.
See, I can't stand that. That's just so close-minded.
Offend the mind and reveal the heart. I love that saying. I've actually heard that before, only it was said a little bit different. It was someone said, gosh, I wish I could remember who said it.
Yeah, exactly.
Challenge the mind and reveal the heart is how I heard it. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
not offend the mind. But yeah, so
You're right, Jim. That he didn't say judge, but boy, we sure do that. Like we're acting on his behalf.
yes, yep.
Good. Okay.
Ooh, number 3, overgeneralization. You come to a general conclusion based on a single incident or piece of evidence, kind of like what I was just talking about with this other lady.
Mm-hmm.
If something bad happens once, you expect it to happen over and over again. Just my luck. How many times have you said that? Have you ever said that?
I have said that when there's, when a shitstorm has come to me and it's like, oh, for God's sakes. And then, something comes up and it's like, yeah, well, with my luck.
But is that said more in jest, or is that said because that's just the way you feel? Like
No, it's
not getting a lucky break.
no, it's not the way I feel at all. It's more like just in jest. It's not, I don't seriously believe that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what you say in the moment.
Because I say things like that too in the moment. In fact, I've gone to the casino with my buddy, and my buddy's won $180, and I've gone and I've dumped a $40 down the drain, and he's like, don't worry about it. I'll pay for lunch. Well, then the next time we go in, I rubbed his head for good luck, and then I won $120 and he lost his money. So yeah, we go back and forth joking around about this, but I don't think I've ever had the feeling like the world is on top of my shoulders.
No.
I'm always getting the raw deal.
I mean, sometimes it's like, God, everybody, you're down for a little bit if you're just like, all this stuff has come at you, but that's never really my feeling because I remember when I was having a couple years back, I developed this trigeminal neuralgia, and so it was inflammation of the nerve that runs down the side, and all of a sudden something would aggravate it, and I would have massive pain on the side. It's also known as the suicide disease. I
Oh,
totally understand why
wow.
people would kill themselves. It's the worst pain. It doesn't stop for like 2 days. Anyway, I went to the doctor about it, and that's how I found out what it was. And I said, why is this happening? Could I maybe I like, for all I know, I got a brain tumor and I'm going to die. And I didn't really believe that. That was
Right.
just, so, that's an example of
But even in our everyday lives, I mean, we go through peaks and valleys. Everybody does.
Oh, yeah.
And I've actually put myself into a position where I kind of tune into those now. That this is as woo woo as I get, but I'm very much into the astrological things, and when you start talking about biorhythms and how everything kind of flows through the universe, I'm very much connected to the earth.
Yeah.
So there are times when the earth is in a certain position where I don't feel grounded. My mind, I have a hard time focusing on things, and things just seem to be floating apart. Like I can't keep my hands and everything going in the same direction. But give it a couple of days, usually about 4 or 5 days, and things start coming back into alignment, and boom, I'm in my power cycle. So it's I think a lot of people, they kind of, they don't understand how things work for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you start getting into this overgeneralization. It's like, oh, geez, just my luck. It seems like every time I do this, I'm getting this result.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So moving along.
Moving along.
Kind of like shotgunning these here real quick. So,
You have to.
so mind reading, mind reading without their saying so, you know what people are feeling and why they act that way they do. In particular, you are able to divine how people are feeling toward you.
Oh,
Making,
everybody's a fucking mind reader, aren't they?
oh
They
yeah.
freaking know. I know exactly what you're thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Right now, you're thinking that I should just shut my mouth and let you do the rest. No, but
Yeah.
that's, we get this all the time. I get this from my wife, even. I mean, it's just like it's there. It's like,
Oh, I think women probably tend to do this. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you, even though I'm taking a big chance here. I'm gonna agree with you. I think this is something that more women do than men, just
Hmm.
because men are too complacent, really, to really worry about what somebody's really thinking sometimes.
Well, because
Man,
women
I
are
don't
like,
know.
yeah, women are like FBI agents, right?
No, they're worse. They're like CIA. Because you,
Because
they,
I saw this, yeah, I saw this meme the other day, and it was like, I don't know, forget the FBI or something, just get 6 women on the case, and they will find out every freaking. And I laughed because, yeah, it's true.
that's why I say CIA, because CIA, you don't even know they're on the case, and they already know. They already know, and they've like,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I can't even buy my wife a Christmas present without her knowing what the hell it is that I bought her for Christmas. But whatever. It's all
Well, I
right.
know, well, that's because you guys like leave the freaking bags laying around, and so I know exactly what store. I know the path you took that day, where you went. Like
Well, yeah.
we notice things. We
Yeah.
notice little tiny things,
Yeah.
and we blow your minds. Like, how do you know I did that? Well, because we can. I'm
Yeah.
telling
I could go to Sears, Harbor Freight, Menards, and Lowe's and Home Depot, and then I stop after going to all five of those manly stores. I can stop at like J.C. Penney's and pick up a really nice scarf or a coat for her and like hide it away. No bags, no receipts, nothing. She goes, well, what did you do at J.C. Penney's?
you. Yeah. What?
What do you smell it on me? Is it like, do I have, do they hit me with a laser that sends a beam right to you?
Yeah.
Did I leave my location setting on my phone? I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's amazing. Like, yeah, our intuition, yeah, Jim, you're right, is very, very strong. But then, we can take it a little bit further and think, oh, you're thinking this and do the whole mind reading thing when really you guys are like total blank
Yeah.
and you're just like not even thinking about it,
No, not even think about
not
anything
even
else.
have a thought. But see, that's sort of the thing because we're always thinking. And then the thinking that you are thinking the
Always
same
thinking
way
also.
and that's not the case. So yeah. Oh, my cat wants. Hang on. You can go to the next one.
Oh, we're talking about the kitty. So actually, we are kind of talking about the kitty. We're talking about a catastrophizing. You expect disaster, you notice or hear about a problem and start what ifs. What if tragedy strikes? What if happens? What if it happens to you? Usually global events triggers this kind of stuff. And I hate what if. I am the biggest anti what ifer on the planet. I swear to
That
God.
sounds funny. Whatever.
I'm there. That's what I call them. I call them what ifers. And my family is full of what ifers.
Yeah.
I hate what if.
There's some people that, yeah, everything that comes along is, but what if? I think I used to be a long time ago, but as I've evolved and improved and grown, I don't tend to do that. I look at what is in the moment that I can deal with and take care of.
Yeah.
Like, what can I do right now? Something's happening right now. I need to deal with.
Now I understand there is some reason
Sometimes you
for
have to.
what if. There are some reasons for what if. For example, if you're starting a business, you need to what if the hell out of that thing so you can plan for every possible, set of failures. So it's okay to have a family full of what ifers because they have helped me figure out how this could go extremely wrong. But at the same time, you also have to understand you have to live in what is, and you can't what if everything. I mean, you have to see what is. You have to deal with what is. You can't try to deal with what if because it hasn't happened. You can only deal with what is in that moment. So,
Well, the problem with that is too, is that with some people, that will stop them from even doing anything
yeah.
because
Well, yeah, it's, you know,
they already come up with a result. Like, what if this happens? Well, that's possible. So why would I even do this? Because that might be the result. So I love what you said about what is. Have you ever heard of, I love her, Byron Katie?
oh no, I haven't.
Oh, you should check in. So she, many years ago, she became extremely depressed, thought she was worthless, and she actually started sleeping on the floor of her bedroom rather than in her bed because she thought she was that worthless.
Wow.
Depressed for many years. And then she had this, I can't remember exactly how it went, but a revelation or a thought or something and got herself out of it. And people started saying, like, noticing how she had changed because people knew she had been like so depressed. And she has, so what she does, her thing she came up with is called The Work. It's just called The Work. You do the work. And it's just like 4 questions. And she's amazing to watch people to work through it. But she's got a book called Loving What Is. And she's very much about what is. Like,
Right.
this is how we're screwing ourselves up.
Yeah.
Is going beyond that and not, so yeah, check out her work. Like, if I resonate with it, you will. Like, you'll totally. She's
Oh,
the
absolutely. I'm gonna
point.
have to check
Like,
it out because, and what is what helps me deal with PTSD on a day-to-day basis
mm,
because with PTSD and with the things that I think about from time to time, the images that come into my head during dreams or even not even dreaming, I can be sitting there driving along and I'll get this like a flash out of the corner of my eye. I'll see something on the road, right? And it could be a piece of trash or whatever. And I'll jerk the wheel over to the left and to get away from that piece of trash because it was programmed into us overseas where that piece of trash could be hiding a dead IED.
mm-hmm.
And in fact, that's where it came from, is having witnessed firsthand an IED blast. The car, I mean, not the car, but the Buffalo, the up armored vehicle that was right in front of me. And it was a piece of trash that was sitting on it. And we even people were calling it up. Hey, there's a water cooler. There's a styrofoam cooler. There was like, they called it like 5 different things. You kept hearing it, hey, watch out for the water cooler, watch out for the styrofoam cooler, watch out for the ice chest. And as we're coming up on it, I remember seeing it just as I saw it, it exploded. So now, even going through my regular day-to-day life, driving down the road, I could be tuning out, listening to a podcast or just talking to somebody in the passenger seat, and I'll see something out of the corner of my eye and it'll trigger a reaction.
Man.
Being able to dive into this, what is, being in the moment and dealing with what is in that moment and not worrying about the what ifs, that is how I deal with my PTSD issues on a day-to-day basis.
I could see that totally. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't like what ifers.
Yeah, I get it. Okay.
So number 6, Depersonalization. Thinking that everything people do or say is some kind of a reaction to you. You also compare yourself to others, trying to determine who's smarter, better looking, or just more successful.
Mm-hmm.
All over Facebook. I see this all over Facebook.
Yeah.
Sometimes not to extremes. It's not too extreme, you know, but you would see this, especially in the podcasting community. This person over here has 10,000 listens. This person over here has only got 1,500 listens. What are you doing? What am I doing wrong? It seems like I'm doing everything you're doing. My show's better than yours. And why can't my show get 10,000 listens?
Yeah.
We would see this all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you know, this can if it gets out of hand, it can turn into paranoia.
Well, it costs friendships.
Yeah.
I mean, this exact one has cost friendships.
Yeah.
You know, you and I were both a member of a very prominent podcasting group, and the group, the hierarchy, not even the hierarchy, but the top contributors, I'll put it that way. The top contributors of the group, only all of a sudden there's like some kind of infighting going on. And it was like, there was this jealousy thing going on, and, oh, you can't believe what that person's saying. They're inflating their numbers, and, oh, you can't do it this way. You have to do it this way. And I mean, there was so much going on that it just broke apart. And the fact that any of them are still friends is amazing, first of all. But, and it took some time to mend some relationships even after that all happened.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely see that in social media for sure. And you'll see it, like some people will, you know, you could post something and people will think like it was for them. You're talking about them. It's exactly them. So, you know, yeah. And, these things, these styles of distorted thinking, I mean, it's not to say that there's something wrong with you. It's to say that, the mind is powerful and that it can do these things. But if you're not aware, these can get out of hand. And yeah, this one, especially with social media, yeah, people think you're talking about them and comparing themselves, and yeah, cause a whole load of problems.
I've caught myself doing this in the past.
Oh yeah, I think sometimes, yeah. I mean, God, we're human, right? We're not Buddhist monks. Like we're gonna.
Right. I mean, I've seen people do something that's very similar to what I'm doing, and I get upset and angry, not because they're doing it better or because I can do it better, but I get angry because this person's supposed to be my friend. Why are they playing in my pond? And what's going on here? And what made them better? Or why are people going to them instead of me? And it's happened in the past, but then eventually once you recognize this is kind of a way of thinking that is going to be more destructive than creative, you can really take what's the word I'm looking for? Oh shoot, I just had it and I just lost it.
Well, that's happened to me the last couple of shows.
Oh,
I know that feeling.
Into the wrong side of my moon. No, but you can. I had it again and I just lost it again. So I've lost it twice. So I'm not even going to try for a third. But like I was
third time lucky.
Oh man,
I know what you mean.
Like I was saying, you can take actions to be able to not think this way and make a conscious decision to go a different way completely, or learn how to support it to where you can actually become collaborators on that process. So,
yeah, absolutely.
And I like the collaboration route, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so geez, we're not even halfway through and we got just a little over 10 minutes left. So
we started late. We're good.
We did. We started at 12 after. So
yeah,
we're awesome. We can make it happen. But then again, we also did spend a lot of time talking about Tangent City.
Yeah. We just
because we
love it
got,
that much.
well, yeah, we do love it that much because we got the best episode that's going to air this next.
Okay. Don't start talking about it again.
Anyways, so control fallacies is number 7. If you feel externally controlled, you see yourself as helpless, a victim of fate, that life happens to you rather than you happening to life. The fallacy of internal control has you responsible for the pain and the happiness for everyone around you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jim. I don't know if there's going to be a part 2. We might cut this one and then just send everybody to the resources page to get the rest.
We're done. We're out. Just go get the rest.
Hey, you can do it yourself. It's you're better than we are, right? You're better than we are.
Oh God.
You can do this. No, it's I don't know how we're going to do that. To be honest with you, we're just going to keep on going until we get as far as we can. So
that's right. This is a big one. Control fallacies. Yeah. Victim. A lot of people will play victim for sure. Like they have no control. Shit happens to them. There's nothing they can do about it. Why does this stuff always happen to me? Yeah. And that leaves you completely powerless. And you definitely see this a lot. The fallacy of internal control has you responsible for the pain and happiness of everyone around you. Yeah. Like you, and then the people that they take everything on. And I think you're looking at a martyr situation there.
Yeah.
So the whole control thing can just like screw with your head. Absolutely.
Oh,
and you'll never be happy.
I've got a couple of friends that I followed on Facebook for quite a while. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen a positive post coming out of them. It's always a woe is me type of situation. The world is coming to an end.
Yeah.
Why does everything have to happen to me? Yeah. And for the longest time, I had this thing in my head because I had started this coaching practice. I should reach out and try to help these people. So I started to try to help these people, but nothing changed and they would never connect. Even though we live in the same town, they would still never want to connect. They would never want to meet up. And it just kept getting worse and worse. And then finally it got to the point where I was just like, I can't do nothing for you. So I just stopped. Mm-hmm. I still have them as friends. So a year later, I still see these woe is me posts, and now it's like turn a blind eye. I don't care anymore. It's just completely just wore out by it. But I don't want to necessarily unfriend them because you never know when they're going to reach that hand out. And,
that's right.
And I'm always going to be there for them if they ever reach that handout. But at the same time, it's like, gosh, I just don't want to engage in this thing because it seems like the more engagement they get, the worse it is.
Yeah, because that's what they want. It's their way of getting attention so they don't feel so crappy. Yeah, this is a tough one. This is a twofold one. Absolutely. And the next one, I definitely see the next one happen too.
The next one is fallacy of fairness. You feel resentful because you think you know what's fair, but other people won't agree with you. Choo-choo stew. Sorry, folks. This one here is actually one that I've been having fun with recently. I don't actually believe this. This is not one of my thinking traits, but because of what had happened on another show, I've actually been using this one, and I recognized it as I was going through them tonight. I was like, that's what I'm doing to try to create more drama, more anticipation for what's coming up next. And so this fallacy of fairness has actually become one of my PR strategies.
Yeah. And that's just an example of being aware of these types of things. You could just, if you go overboard in these, and that's what you see a lot of, that whole fairness thing going on as well. You feel like, and it kind of ties into other things too. I think it's just not fair. I think this can lead to the black and white thinking. And I
Startup,
think that ties up into a lot of stuff.
lot in startup groups. How many times do you see this in business startup groups or networking groups where someone has started a business, say 6 months ago, but there's someone in the group that started only 3 weeks ago, but they're seemingly having more success than the person that started 3 months ago. So then all of a sudden you get this like tension building based on this exact thing, the resentfulness because this person's successful. He hasn't been doing it as long as I have.
Yeah.
What makes him better than me,
Yeah.
So that's big in that environment.
And that ties into the next one, actually.
Blaming. Oh God.
Yeah.
You ever know those people that never own their shit?
Oh yeah.
That's really what this is boiling down to, folks, is you hold other people responsible for your pain, or take the other track and blame yourself for every problem or reversal.
Yeah.
I know. God, that just drives me crazy. It's like, why didn't you get to school on time? Well, it's because mom didn't wake me up and you weren't ready to take me to school and blah, 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 blah. It was all these other problems, but they failed to realize that they have been waking themselves up for the last 4 years of high school.
Yeah.
It's one of the responsibilities that we give. Yeah, we're already up. We're moving around. We're getting dressed. We're getting ready for our day.
Yeah.
We leave it on them to get ready for school and do things on their own because it's teaching them responsibilities.
Yeah.
But it's that type of thing, though. It always
people blame how well, I only did that because you did this, or I said that because you said that, because you did this. And yeah, it's just, I just think, wow, people just walk around like you are just like a moving target. Wow, like life must be really freaking hard walking around in your shoes. You have no control, no say, no mind of your own. You are just like, shit just happens to you. Like, wow, you have no control, no choice.
And the other thing that kind of plays into this is when people argue. Usually when someone starts losing an argument, when they start losing, not necessarily losing an argument in the sense of like, you're the loser, I'm the winner, ha ha, but losing grasp of where you're trying to get with an argument.
Yeah.
Because there should be a goal. There should be an end result that's beneficial to both people with the right type of argument.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that the benefit isn't going to be a great benefit, but it should benefit both parties. Yeah. But when people start losing control of an argument, you start hearing things like, well, 5 years ago when you did this, or they start jumping back into past arguments to try to grasp for whatever type of ammunition that they can throw at you.
Yeah.
Because they're starting to lose sight of what that end goal is.
And then it gets completely ridiculous.
And then it does. And this is
like, what? But then you're like fucking with them at that point, because then you just start playing with their mind. But yeah, it's, it's like people with, if they start having problems, everything, it's like,
hold on.
Goes to the government.
Hold on a second. That's not fair, because there's certain people like myself who have a damaged memory system, damaged memory bank. I can hardly remember things like minor things that happened to me, 2 days ago, let alone 10 years.
Neither can I.
But I don't know. There's some people that for some reason they've got this like data entry port in the side of their head. They remember everything that they've ever said, done, or felt for the last 10 years. And I can't even remember what I freaking had for lunch yesterday. So
well, either can I. I'm that way too.
But that's usually when people start screwing with me. It's like, yeah, man, you told me that that we would be able to go and do this and you were going to just pay for everything. I'm like,
what?
Yeah, I guess I got a few extra bucks. I got you. Don't worry.
You should not be revealing this.
I know, right? I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. But But it's
Oh,
funny what it's funny what we do decide to remember, because there are certain things like, no, I remember that one. No, you said that we were gonna do that, and because it was gonna do this instead, and now you're saying you're gonna chew my ass because I didn't do what you thought we weren't supposed to, but we did supposed to do.
yeah.
Anyways, so yeah,
That's pulling up ridiculous backstories if you're having an argument. But
yeah,
I
that's
like how, people will blame like the government for like their crappy job, their crappy, uh, that seems to be a big one.
oh yeah,
That's a big one. It's like, come on, you have the choice to go do anything.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, there's some things that make it harder for sure. Well, then you just have to pivot or become more resourceful or find another way. But yeah, the people who just sit back and go, well, my life sucks because of, no, your life sucks because of you.
I only make $7.25 an hour at the IHOP because the government won't raise the minimum wage.
Minimum wage. Yeah.
Oh, damn it. Go to college or go to school, go do something, get a job in construction where you can make 18 bucks an hour instead of 7.25. You look like an able-bodied man. Just get off your ass and do something that's worth skill labor.
It's to justify, right? It's all
Yeah.
comes down to justification, blaming. Yeah.
Problems over solutions. So going
Yeah.
on to the next one.
Ugh, this one.
Should.
Yeah.
This one here was kind of this one's funny to me.
Funny? Really?
Yeah, because you have a list of ironclad rules about how you or other people should act. People who break the rules anger you, and you feel guilty if you violate the rules.
This was a big one in my family.
Remember that live in the gray area?
Yeah, this is one you have how things should be done. Yeah. Now, why didn't they do this? Or so and so should have said this when
Yeah.
I said that or did that. It's like, but they're not you. My mom was very much this type of person. Like, why didn't she do that?
I
Well,
was this person when I was a kid.
because she's not you. You would have done that, but they're not you.
Yeah.
So that's a big one that really gets people pissed off at people, and the other person has no clue that this big, huge dilemma is even going on. They have no clue whatsoever. This is a real big one that people get so mad at people. Like, why didn't she say that? Or why did she say that? Or, yeah, oh, this one is crazy.
But this is a distorted thinking style that can start in early age. I mean, I remember as a kid when I was like, I don't know, 9 or 10 years old, when we're outside playing, Army Man or whatever it is that we were playing, we would have conversation during this whole thing. It's like, and it's like, I start a dialogue and then they say something back to me to respond to it. No. You need to tell me this so I can say this next.
I don't think that's the same.
You don't think so?
I don't think that's the same. It's just your imagination. You have you had a vision of how that
should play
out.
But I think I don't think it's exactly the same, but I think there's roots in that though.
Yeah,
some people kind of take that and keep going with it, and then they lose that imagination side of it, and then they just have the expectation side. And then they create this expectation of what people how they should respond and how they should act when they're interacting with you.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
But so that might be going way deeper than what we were trying to get into, but that's
something to think about though. That's what this is all about. It's something to think about, right? I mean, it's all being aware. Nothing, no one's perfect. There is no right or wrong. We're all working through this shit. We all have different things, and some of these stand out for sure. It's all just to be aware.
So, number 11, I don't know if we're going to get through the rest of them.
That's okay. Let's just keep going.
Just keep going because we're close. Emotional reasoning. You believe that what you feel must be true automatically because feelings are true, real. If you feel stupid and boring, then you must be stupid and boring. Usually rooted in what you have been told, a belief. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, feelings are true. I mean, they are true. You're feeling them. So they are real,
Yeah. But you
but
also
it's
have the ability to think them through and
about,
change
yeah,
them based on how you think.
exactly. Like, why am I feeling that way? You have to go beyond that a little bit. You can't just go, well, this is the way I feel. And you can't, no, why do you feel that way? Where does it come from? So, yeah, absolutely. You have to be aware of that. And know that, is it just somebody who said that? Was it like a parent or a sibling or a teacher or somebody that just kept saying something to you all the time that made you feel a certain way? And then when something triggers that feeling and you think, well, that's because I'm stupid and boring.
Yeah.
Like, it's really to examine that. All these things are just hints. They're just hints. To,
I got a really, really cool friend. He's from the UK, and him over the course of the last year, we haven't talked in quite a while, but over the course of the last year, we used to have a lot of conversations. And he would tell me stories about how his dad would constantly, basically call him stupid. Well, you're the stupid of the stupidest. You're the stupidest of the stupidest type
I
of thing.
can't imagine a parent doing that.
Well, he grew up believing this. Eventually, it turned into this thing that he always believed. So it always held him back from ever succeeding in anything that he tried.
Yeah.
Well, you're the stupid of the stupids, and because of that thinking, the way that I call it stinking thinking. I know there's a lot of people out there that call it stinking thinking, but it's because of that thinking, though. He has sat on this amazing project that he's been working on for the last 7 years. He has sat on this project for 7 years. And when he actually showed me the project, everything that he's put into this project, it's like, man,
That's so sad.
you're sitting on this stuff is golden. You should be teaching this is stuff that you should be putting out into the world so other people can use it to help other people. And he's like, well, you really think it's that good? I said, yes, it's really that good. He goes, you're the first person to ever tell me that. Everybody else, my wife, my dad, my mom, everybody's always said, stop doing that, get a job, that's stupid.
Oh, God.
Stupidest of the stupids. Like, wow, I can't, so that's this is what was brought up to me. That's the thought that came to my mind when I started seeing, when I saw this one. So
God, that's awful. That's awful. But yeah, examine your feelings. Like, if you keep having the same feelings, especially if you have the same feelings all the time that aren't feelings that are comfortable, examine that, have a look at that. I mean, they are real, but what's behind them may not be. So definitely worth investigating. Like, they're just, your feelings are just a hint at something.
So number 12, fallacy of change. I just wanted to say it like that. It just sounded fun. You expect that other people will change to suit you if you just pressure, threaten, or cajole them enough. You need to change people because your hope for happiness seems to depend entirely on them.
This is another woman one.
No, it's not. No, I disagree with that.
Well, but it is, though, a lot. Not just, but
well, I think men will use more of the threatening and what's the way I'm trying to explain that? They will try to intimidate and threaten people to fit their mold, whereas women use more of emotional type of weapon, I think.
And the cajoling and the, yeah.
But when I say that, I don't think that this is just women. I think there's just as many men that do this, because the key here for me was the whole thing that somebody else is responsible for making you happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think almost everybody at some point in their lives feels that, oh, I need to get married, and this person's going to make me happy. And
your whole life depends on this one person.
Yes,
and
or I need to have this job because this job will make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
When And it's not until they recognize the fact that the only person responsible for your happiness is yourself. Until then, I think this is a distraction. I mean, distraction. This is one of those distorted thinking styles that really affects, I would say, the majority of people.
Oh, yeah, this is a big one for sure, that it's something else that they need to make them happy. Money, a person, a thing. So, people who get into like shopping a lot because they've got to, doing that, getting something new, then makes them happy. But then that's temporary for a bit, and you come home and you put it away, and then it's over. And then you go back to your life again. And then,
Well, it's
yeah,
like you hear the saying, money can't buy happiness. And then the people that have these distorted thinking styles, they're the first people to say, yeah, but money can buy me the things that will make me happy. But for how long?
yeah,
And eventually it's going to break, or you're going to get bored with it, or it's just not exactly what you thought it was going to be. So it didn't make you happy in the first place.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that's a big one for sure. Yep.
Number
And the next
13,
one.
global labeling. Wow, this has been huge in the last 10 years.
God, yeah.
I'd say it's been longer than 10 years now, probably, but since 2001, I suppose we've had this has been huge ever since the World Trade Centers.
Yeah, since 2011 or 2011.
Since 9/11.
9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has been huge. This global labeling, you generalize one or two qualities into a negative global judgment. All Muslims are terrorists.
Yeah.
White people are bad. All black people are bad. Whatever it is, you get just a few bad little bits and pieces, and you glance onto it, and everything is bad. All people of that race are bad, and it's absurd. And
Yeah.
because of that, we are in that fallout now, where it's almost like it's like the 60s all over again. Where it's like you have this person against this person, you have blacks against whites, you have whatever. It's so crazy right now.
Oh, there's so much divide. That's
Yeah.
what it does, is it just causes this divide when people just really all want the same things and they react the same way. And, you know, uh, music affects everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. Laughter affects everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. Like, those things connect us all. We really all want to be loved and know we matter, and it's all the same thing. It's like that live you did one night, and I can't remember his name that you had on. He's from India or something.
Yeah. Rahan. I
Yeah.
can't remember his last name. Recede or W.
Yeah. And that was a great example. You know, we all want the same things. We all feel the same things.
Exactly. It doesn't matter where you grew up, how you grew up, or what you do now. When you go home at night and you look at your family, you want the exact same thing for your family as I want for my family. That's really what it all boils down to.
Exactly. Yeah. But we're just it's a really weird time right now. And that global labeling is just.
But it's a way to put ourselves back into a victim mindset.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it really is, because if you take what's been going on with whites and blacks, even whites want to call themselves the victims, and the blacks are going to call themselves the victims. Everybody wants to get put into this victim mindset. And I know what I'm saying right now isn't going to be popular with a lot of people, but here's the truth of the matter. And that's what I'm about. If we put ourselves in that victim mindset, there's absolutely no way, shape, or form that we can ever come to agree on anything whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I've said this, and I don't know how many times I've said this, but I've always said this: when there's a problem, it's better to come with a fistful of solutions than a fistful of excuses. So that's kind of where I stand on that. And this global labeling thing is really what it's kind of turned into. It's creating the divide between people. And we sat down, we couldn't see each other. You sat on one side of the wall and I sat on the other side of the wall, and we just had a conversation. I guarantee you when they pulled that wall away and you saw who was on the other side of the wall, you would be shocked. But the first thing you'd want to do is probably hug each other because you guys want the same damn things.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. It's like that old dating game where you had the three guys that sat behind the wall and you asked them questions and some of them sounded really good.
And some of them just anyways,
yeah.
sorry, didn't mean to steal that. That's not my tagline. I apologize, and I don't want to get dinged for copyright or anything like that. That was Carlos Mencia's thing, not mine. So I'll give him credit for it. So we're on number 14.
Yeah.
Hey, Bobby, if you're watching at this point, you've just realized that we're going long tonight.
You'll do some editing.
Yeah.
Edit out the beginning.
Yeah.
That was really just for us anyway, that whole beginning.
That really was. So number 14, being right.
Oh, yes.
Continually on trial to prove that your opinions and actions are correct. Being wrong is unthinkable, and you will go to any length to demonstrate your rightness, even when things have passed.
Yeah, have you ever been in that? Like the thing's over, you're talking about something else, and then they'll come back and go, here, look, see? And then they're just like, see, I told, and you're like, we're done. Like, we're talking about this now. Like, it's over.
I have done that before, only when it's actually mattered, though. Well,
that's your opinion.
Well, no, it did, because it turned into, this is a safety measure that would keep this person
from dying. Yeah.
If we did it wrong.
Okay. So, well, in that case, yes.
Yes. But, yes. I don't know how many times I see a post, and this is what I hate. This is the one thing that I hate about Facebook, because it breeds this thinking issue right here.
Oh, yeah.
Think about groups. The person who owns the group has an ego, and if you disagree whatsoever with their point of view or their opinion, you're booted out of the group.
Yeah.
Same thing with people's personal posts. If you have a contradictory opinion, all of a sudden you're either deleted or you're blocked or you're unfriended, whatever the case is, because you disagree with the way they think. So like I said, Facebook is a breeding ground for this.
Yeah, it's the perfect perfect thing to observe human behavior, Facebook.
It is.
Fascinating.
In fact, if Facebook made any change whatsoever to their algorithms, it would be that nobody could unfriend somebody without the other person knowing the reason why they're being unfriended. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Oh, I would change some shit.
It would.
That would force people, because, I understand you want positivity around you, but if the littlest thing is going to go, no, you're not a unicorn, you can't be in my sphere, how are you ever going to grow and be challenged on your beliefs or your thoughts or anything? That's the one thing that I see that I shake my head on. I can see, there's the odd person that I have unfriended because I'm like, you are just really offensive. And I don't think I really get offended, but there's some people that are like, you need to work on some shit, and I don't want to be there while you're working on your shit. So, but otherwise, I've had people comment and don't agree or put something up, and God, that's how you grow. That's how you learn.
Yeah. I love it when people challenge me. In fact, I challenge people all the time just so they will challenge me. I'll throw up something that is very controversial or very just completely mind-blowing. Like, wow, I can't believe that person just said that, just to get a reaction, to get someone to challenge a point of view.
Yeah.
And I think the reason
I've changed my mind on things from that.
And I do it all the time.
It's like shit. It's like it's a sin to change your freaking mind. It drives me crazy. I believe this way, and it must stay all golden this way.
Yeah. If you change your mind, you're not a strong personality.
Yeah.
No, if I change my mind, that shows the flexibility, and the more flexible you are, the stronger you are. So,
yeah.
Thank you for your input.
Yeah. And we are right about this. by the way.
I love it. Anyways, so moving on to the last but not least, number 15, heaven's reward fallacy.
Oh yeah, this one kills me.
You expect all your sacrifices and self-denial to pay off as if they were someone keeping score. You feel bitter when the reward doesn't come.
Mm-hmm. There's some martyrs out there.
That's the martyr syndrome right there. Oh gosh,
I raised you. I birthed you. You must forever. Yeah.
I bought you a car when you were 14.
Yeah.
You should do something for me now. What the hell? Yeah. I don't get it.
I went through 36 hours of labor. I tore from ass to freaking
I got tore from tits to shoulder blades. God dang it. You owe me.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I had no life until, yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's like, no, you don't owe me anything. However,
religion is big on this too, right?
Yeah. Well, as well as I do, though, that even with our children, there comes a point where you have to sit them down and you say, look, we provide this for you so you can do this. And the way you're acting is showing me that you don't respect or appreciate what is being done for you. Yeah. So there is, at sometimes you do have to sit someone's side and say, look, but if they're just being absolute little assholes about things, but for the most part, like you were saying, my mom was that way. That you just described my mom to a T. And Mom, if you're watching this,
sorry.
No, I'm not. No, that's just the way it is. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but in religion, you see this a lot, right? Like, no premarital sex, all kinds of sacrifices because they got to get into like heaven. And
I don't even want to put all religion into that. There's certain religions that do this. Because there's some religions that are very much just, this is what we do. We gather together, we talk about this scripture and we talk about this, whatever. Mm-hmm. And we're just want to be good people. We don't, and then there's those other ones that have their traditions and have their rituals and have their rules. And those are those are the religions that kind of, they're the most judgy people. They're the ones that
I know
believe that they're and it's horrible. It's really horrible, but that's just the way they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, it's very interesting how people, it's the martyr. I just gave everything. And
so now that I've just alienated my mom and my dad, and my stepmom,
but you're telling the truth.
For Christmas, sorry.
Oh. Oh my God, that's funny.
I guess Lance can be your favorite son this year.
Yeah. That's funny. We did it.
We're through them.
We did it. Yes.
And guess what? I only have to edit about 15 minutes.
That's good. That's about as long as we talked. It's amazing how that was really all just for us in the beginning.
But seriously, I had so much fun doing this episode. Actually, I really did. Mainly for the fact that we discussed these thinking styles, and I think we realized that with everyone talking through each and every one of them, either we've done it in the past, or maybe we've got really close family that does these things, or what have you. And I think it was fun. It's
a good reminder. Always a good reminder, right?
Yeah.
I love these. Yeah, it was fun because
Plus, it brings it to the surface. So now, when you're going through your daily lives, now that you've heard this, and things just don't seem to be going right, and you want to get a different result from something, maybe it's one of these thinking styles that you need to tweak a little bit so you can get a different result.
Yeah. Maybe you're stuck in it. You can get out of it. The good news is you can get out of it if you're stuck in one of these. And I think a lot of people do get one and then they just stay there and they just like spinning their wheels in the mud.
But you know what we should get out of?
We should get out of the show.
We should get out of this show because
But
you know
I think I want to put this
right now.
Oh,
yeah, Tangent City's on.
that's right. Well, not for you yet. Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it
yes. That's right. Okay. But I'm going to put the PDF of this on our website. So go check out our website, gritandgracetv.com. Get all our resources there in every way that we're available. All our episodes you can find there with all the links. This was awesome.
It was awesome. And thank you very much, folks, for checking this out. We will be back Friday night for Free for All Friday.
Yeah.
We don't know where it's going to go, but if you want to inspire the direction of this show on Friday, get on over to, I almost said the wrong website. Get on over to gritandgracetv.com and go over into that section. It's like 4 tabs over. Just leave us a comment. You don't have to tell us who you are. All you do is you just leave us a question or a comment and we will run with it and we will have a lot of fun doing so. So,
yeah.
Thank you very much for watching us, and I can't wait to see you next Friday night.
See you, folks.
Bye, y'all.